Hey, hi. Hey, hi, hello. It's Alicia. I have been sitting here for a little bit over an hour and I'm feeling pretty good about that because I just filmed 2 videos, one of which was explaining how to do very basic eyeshadow, like 1, 2, 3 eyeshadows for a look, plus mascara, and then I filmed another video using 5 eyeshadows for a look. And it feels pretty cool. I did it both with like more colorful eyeshadow and with more of a neutral color palette. My dog just like knocked over a pillow and got really scared, and she's looking at me for reassurance. It's okay, babies. So yeah, I am now going to do my makeup for the evening and just put on whatever I feel comfortable with. And I just opened a new pack of brushes from BH Cosmetics, and so I have like a bunch of not yet super dirty tools. My plan for the evening is to have, sorry about the clicking sounds, those irritate me. My plan for the evening is to relax, look a little bit cute because I did not wear makeup today. I woke up 20 minutes before a lecture I was supposed to be at, so I threw on clothes really fast and I called an Uber and I got there on time, and the lecture was good, the seminar was interesting, and I liked the speaker and I was there for it. So that was good, but today and the past few days I haven't been feeling particularly happy, and now I'm starting to feel a little better because I had fun filming, and I would like to now put on some makeup and have fun. I'm a little bit, because I just did some neutral eyeshadows, I'm a little bit torn about whether I want to do more neutrals because I think it actually looked really pretty, or whether I want to be me and put on a butt ton of glitter. And you know, maybe I should just not do the most. Maybe I'll do neutral, simple eye. I barely ever do this anymore. A neutral eye look, but like play up the skin a lot. That's pretty rare for me because I have so much fun doing eyeshadow, and it's where I get to play with the most color, so it's usually the thing I'm most excited for. But let's just do something a little bit different. This is my No Filter Concealer by ColourPop. It's like $6, and I just talked in my previous videos very briefly. I'll mention again that I like to use a concealer for my primer pretty often because it will cancel out any veins or unevenness in skin tone on my eyelids due to thin translucent skin that shows the goings on of my underworks. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to see Matthew tonight, and I don't want to have on too much makeup. I've already seen him today when I wasn't wearing any, and I just like, I feel relaxed doing makeup, so for me it's a nice calming process, and yeah, maybe it'll be interesting for him to see me with a different style of makeup on, which would be natural, neutral eyes, and then maybe I could have a little bit more fun with like my blush and my skin. My skin has been looking like butthole lately because I slept in my makeup and I've had a lot of irritation due to that, and I've got it in my mustache area and on my chin, and just, man, my skin's mad at me. So last night I used like a 4% BHA to try to really tell my skin like, hey, I'm ready for you to cut the crap. So we'll see. Okay. For neutral eyeshadows, let's go ahead and use the Modern Renaissance palette because this is a favorite of mine and a lot of people. I've actually hit pan in Tempera, and there are several other very nice neutral colors in here, and just 2 shimmers, and one that's more of like a satiny. Anyway, they're neutral enough, so let's use those. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my lids. I'm just going to take Primavera, which is a nice light gold. Ooh, this mirror is gross. I'm not going to use that. Alright, so let's tappy that on. It's gonna feel interesting. So I like eyeshadow so much that I usually just like go kind of crazy with it. But don't need to all the time. So we'll also go kind of quick today, I guess. I'll do red ochre. Just show that I can be quick and speedy and simple. I'm using the same brush. This is from that BH Cosmetics eye brush kit. It's like the Eye Essentials 7-piece kit, and I like it so far. I've used 3 of the brushes, and we'll use a couple more maybe. I'm gonna go back into Primavera just to brighten up and maybe go over that border between Primavera and red ochre just a little bit. For the crease, I'm gonna grab my crease brush. This is the 101 from that same kit. I'm gonna go into, I really love, and they remind me so much of 2 of the matte shades from the ColourPop Manny MUA palette. This one is whatever that is, Burnt Orange and Raw Sienna, and they remind me very strongly of these 2 mattes in the Manny MUA and Makeup Geek palette, these 2 right here. Let me hold them up and see if they're actually similar. They're more reminiscent than actually perfectly similar, but one's more cool, one's a little bit warmer. And I really do love this palette, but it's limited editions and gone for a long time, but I still use it even though I'm not a fan of Manny MUA. I'm going to mix Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange and put those in my crease. Feels nice. I'll probably use Tempera as my matte brow bone shade. Yeah, I think that's pretty, just the 2 of those together as a crease color. Man, it feels very strange to do such neutral colors and so few of them. It doesn't feel like bad, just it is very different from what I tend to do. Although this week I used a few of my loose pigments from Tammy Tanuka or Sigil Inspired. She's a Russian makeup brand owner, brand, whatever. And I just used like one multi-dimensional shadow all over my lid, and then I deepened the crease a little bit, and it was beautiful, but it was more multi-dimensional. These are more flat colors. I'm gonna go back in with this one is a little bit more angled. This is the 104 from that same kit. She's angled and she's not quite as fluffy, but I'm gonna go back into red ochre, and I'm just going to build up that outer corner a little bit. And I like the angle of this so that I can keep it from going out too far. And it's a little fluffy. Let's do it on this side too. I angle it toward my lash line, so I think that gives a flattering shape. And then back into the crease brush, I am going to grab a mixture of burnt orange and red ochre. Burnt orange, red ochre. And I'm going to use that for the outer crease to sort of blend the crease into the red ochre color. So I'm only going to blend that about halfway across my lid instead of all the way in. Yes, that is what I want. So same thing, mixing those 2 colors. I'm going to look down at my mirror so that I can still see my lids without closing my eyes. Okay. And I think think that's pretty. So I'm going to use the 103 brush, which was the lid packing color, and I'm just going to super quickly swipe it in my color switch and grab that tempera color, which it's very powdery, which is why I've hit pan in it, I'm sure. And I'm just going to go right up to my brow bone and lightly blend over the crease work to sort of mix them a little bit. Okay. And do that on the other side as well. Yeah, I barely touched it in there, and there's a lot of pigment on the brush. So sometimes I feel good about hitting pan and then I'm like, nah, it's just the nature of how powdery that shadow is. But it's very easy to work with, and I do use it very often. So it's a very nice color for me to put on my brow bone. If you had darker skin, you could use that as an inner corner highlight, like putting it here. And I think that's pretty. So let's go ahead and call it a day with those. Once I blend out just a little bit more. I don't know if it's actually uneven or if it just looks that way in the camera, because who knows, but it doesn't have to be perfect for me, it just has to be good enough. And I think that's pretty. So I would call that good enough. I'm going to grab a combination of this ColourPop No Filter Concealer and my Tarte Shape Tape in the color Light Medium, which is clearly too dark for my skin, but I'm going to use it anyway. So I'm going to use a little bit of the Tarte and put it there. And then I'm going to go over top of that with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer to lighten it. Bloop. And I'm going to wet the butt of this Real Techniques face and body mask. It's a pretty big sponge, and yes, obviously mine's dirty, but don't worry, it's going on my face, not yours. And I'm just gonna blend it out with this flat butt part, like such. Having your sponge wet will both keep the product on your face from getting sucked into the sponge as much, but also help to shear out the products that you're putting on your face, which if you're looking for high coverage may not be very appealing, but if you're looking for more of a natural color coverage, is very appealing. And since these concealers are very pigmented, I would like them to be a bit more sheer in coverage, because I would still like my skin to look like skin. And I go all the way in toward my nose. Why are you being weird? And then cover my nose as well, because I get more pinkness there. Is there a lash or something going on here? Something's going on. And this sponge has such a big area, a big surface area. I find it's very easy for applying everything very quickly, dispersing it over a wide area. And again, ensuring that my makeup is more sheared out so that it doesn't look quite as heavy. If you want it less sheared out, use a brush instead, or use more product. However, this is concealer, and I actually wanted to conceal before I put on foundation because I would like to put on less foundation, and I only want it where I really feel like I actually care to increase my makeup coverage, which, to be honest, is not going to be a whole lot. So let's just tappy, 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 make everything happy. When I am trying to pack and apply as light as possible, I will sometimes just use concealer and not use foundation. I think I could get away with that just fine. And perhaps I'll do something to that effect today because I don't want to be overpowering the universe with my makeup coverage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to not put on foundation. I'm gonna grab my current favorite powder. Yesterday I used the Cinema Secrets powder, which I used for baking my under eyes basically. So I set the powder and I pressed it into my under eye and then I wiped out the excess. And by the end of the day, it looked very cakey and it was patching apart, you know, like older dry skin. So I think I still like this powder for setting, but I don't think it's good for baking. So not good baking powder, just good setting powder. I'm going to take my enormous brush from IT Cosmetics. This is the 211 all over powder brush, and it's the softest thing. And I'm going to tap it into some powder that I just have sitting out of my vanity. I'm weird. And I'm just going to like lightly tap and set and buff. I'm using the Ben Nye banana powder. I have some out on like a palette over here that I just didn't use from a previous makeup application. And yeah, I'm gonna just do that. So today I guess I'm going for the most natural coverage that I've ever put on when recording a video ever. Now I'm gonna grab, set this aside and not put it away because I still will have to do my under eyes, but let's go ahead and grab bronzer, and I'll put that on with this same huge fluffy brush because that will keep it from looking like too much. And this is my butter bronzer. I have hit pan. I keep mentioning that because I'm just so proud. Go through my hairline. I feel that my allergies are bothering me, so I need to use some Flonase here in a sec. Go down my neck because it smells so good. Hit the perimeter of my face and kind of hit my cheekbones. The hollows of my cheeks actually. I'm not going on top of my cheekbones. But just super lightly dusting the powder all over the place. It's hard to overdo it with this because it's not extremely pigmented. So it's a nice powder for people who are worried about having their products look like splotchy or weird. This does not tend to look splotchy or weird. But I'm going to, let's see what this is. Yeah, this is a bronzer that actually has some shimmer in it. This is from Hourglass. And I'm going to put this on too. This one I think is a bit more pigmented and has a bit more of a pinky tone to it. And alright, yeah, you can see that. I'm just gonna buff. This one does not smell good, but it's nice. Okay, promise me that that's not gonna look splotchy when we finish by putting a blush on. Alright, I'm gonna grab a blush brush instead, and I think I have a little Wet n Wild guy right here. That would not be very expensive. It's a blush brush. And we're going to, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take eyeshadow from the Modern Renaissance palette and we're going to make blush with it. So I'm going to take that red ochre color and I'm going to mix it with Buon Fresco. And very, very lightly, we're going to start buffing that behind the apples of my cheeks. It'd be nice if I was using a mirror, not just my screen, to look at this, but I can feel where I want it. Can you see? Does it look good, or does it look like butt? I'm just gonna keep buffing and buffing and buffing and hope for the best. This is one of the ways that I sometimes will ensure that my color scheme is really cohesive. And it's also a way that I will limit the number of products that I'm using. I'll use the same palette. Like I could use this also for my brows with this Cypress Umber color if I wanted to. and I don't because I don't want to spend any time on my brows. But yeah, that's my blush. This is not a mirror. What are you doing? Do the same thing on this side. Pressure level is pretty, like a 3 or a 4 out of a scale of 10, where 10 would be like mashing it in and disfiguring the brush, and 1 would be like super light. I can barely feel it on my skin. You hear Cammy crying, she's ready for her food. So that's blush. And I think I'm going to look at this in a further away mirror so I can see whether the pigmentation actually looks nice, because sometimes it's hard just for me looking at my monitor here. Yeah, and I do think that's pretty. And my bronze looks fine. I can still see a lot of like my little acne discoloration and stuff, and that doesn't bother me. Again, I'm going for something just more light and natural than usual. I'm going to do highlight, and we're going to go ahead and use this because it's right here. This is the Ophir Cosmetics Nikki Tutorials Highlighting Trio, and I'm going to mix Glazed Donut and Glow Goals. I'm going to use this same brush because it's got a wider surface area. Oh shoot! I accidentally just tapped into the blue one, and normally I would love that, but today I'm going for more natural, so I'm erase, Control Z. I'm going to mix these two colors. This one is Glow Goals and Glazed Donut. Glow Goals, Glazed Donut, doesn't matter, you don't care. And I'm going to lightly put that on the tops of my cheekbones, blending it down into the highlight, or into the blush. Same thing, just tapping in. I'm not like digging into the highlight because I do want to apply this lighter than what I typically go for. And because the brush has a greater surface area, it's not going to give me a concentrated deposit of pigment, but hopefully more of a subtle glow. When do I ever want a subtle glow? Still looks very pretty though. You hear Cam crying for food. So I'm going to wrap this up really fast so I don't have to actually stop. I'm going to use a combination of those two same highlighters here and tap it on my inner corner just with my pinky for my inner corner highlight on both sides. Ooh, I went down a little bit. I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush. This is 103 from that little kit. Go back into Modern Renaissance and grab a mix of this burnt sienna raw orange. It's raw sienna and burnt orange, but whatever. I'm going to make burnt sienna, and I'm going to run that on my just threw the palette on my lip. Everything's fine. I'm gonna run that on my lower lash line right under my lashes for a little bit of warmth. No shimmer, all matte. I'm gonna get a little bit more because I really like it. Oh my gosh, Alycia, you is looking so natural. And you're probably like, oh, that's not natural, that's a bunch of makeup. What I mostly mean is neutral. So I'm not using extremely different colors from what my natural skin tone already has in it. Let's do the absolute bare minimum to my eyebrows, which is just putting in a little bit of an eyebrow gel. If I can open it. I've had this for too long and it's very it's very used. So I'm just gonna brush my my eyebrow hairs into place a little bit. This one always gets covered by my bangs because it is the unwanted, unappreciated brow. I'm not gonna be able to open that again. All right, let's put on a little bit of mascara. And this is the Essence Lash Princess. It's not waterproof, which I usually use waterproof. I prefer it, but I I don't want my makeup to be super hard to take off because I've put it on and off now like 4 or 5 times today. Just hit my lashes with some mascara. I'm trying to be careful because with this mascara I tend to hit my lid very often. Ooh, you can see a nice difference from mascara to no mascara. Ooh, so far so good. I haven't hit my lid. Watch, no, it's gonna happen. I'm trying to be really careful. And I don't even think I'm going to apply more layers. I think I'm gonna just let that be what I do. Should we do like a little bit on the lower lashes? I think we're gonna say yes because this is pretty neutral for me. I'm only gonna put it on the outside because my lower lashes are pretty long and it can go from 0 to 100 real fast. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. And then for a lip, we're going to just do something like a gloss. This is, ooh, we'll put on both of these. So this is Stone Fox by ColourPop. It's pinky, and I'm not gonna put on much of it. I'm gonna just do like that, just to get a little bit of pigment. And then I'm gonna go over top with this So Juicy Plumping Gloss by ColourPop. And call it a day. Ah, this feels like I'm making unattractive sounds. I feel like I need to stick to glosses for a little while because my lips are super chapped. This is a big pinky, but I can tone it down with some peachiness later if I feel like it. Overall though, this is pretty neutral for me. I'm going to go dry my hair and I'll come back and show you what it looks like after. I'll be back. So I'm back. I ended up completely changing my outfit. I was wearing a romper and I was getting cold. So I put on this it's like got a bunch of distressing in it in the bottom and the back. It's a crop sweater from Shein or Sheinside, whatever that Chinese brand is. And especially now that I have this on, although it does, oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I was gonna say it. The pink looks like it's too much, but because it actually matches my little baby pink nails, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it. So this is my natural makeup. I would tone down the lip gloss, except now that I've realized it sort of matches my nails, I kind of want to leave it. I just painted my nails yesterday, and I'm going to hold up too so I'm not flipping you off, but like, why? It already is chipped on both of my middle fingers. I just can't. So yeah, this is my natural, neutral makeup situation. I feel cute, and I also feel like it's definitely not too much. I like that you can still see blemishes and imperfections, but I do feel like I look put together, and I feel more comfortable with the fact that my imperfections are now not sort of the star of the show because my eyeshadow looks pretty, my lashes look pretty, I've got a cute gloss on, so there are other areas of interest for somebody to look at on my face as opposed to just like the redness and so on. Again, I'm not wearing any foundation, it's just concealer and powder. And I think it still gives me the little bit of a boost that I wanted in my life today. So I'm happy with that. And I'm happy that you stayed and hung out and watched. Thanks. Thanks a bunch. Look, I'm capable of doing normal people makeup too, as opposed to just my typical putting on all of the colors and all of the glitter that I could possibly get my hands on. You know, I am tempted right now to like grab a glitter and put it on top as a reward for doing such neutral makeup, but maybe I'll resist. Yeah, maybe I'll resist that. So anyway, thanks so much for hanging out. My name's Alycia. Your name, you should leave it in the comments. You should tell me your name and we should become friends, and I will talk to you and you can talk to me. We can share problems and we can share successes, and I'll root for you and you can root for me, and then we can exchange string art. I was thinking of like friendship bracelets, and then string art is what came out. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, thanks again. I will hopefully see you the next time I turn on the camera for another time of me probably not looking like this and instead having lots of colors and glitter and other exciting things on my face. Okay, bye!